We spend an entire week driving to 7 different grocery stores with one mission: find out who is actually charging you a fair price for meat and who has been quietly taking advantage of your loyalty for years. The results were shocking. One store came out so far ahead of every competitor on so many cuts that the comparison felt almost unfair. One store was charging prices so dramatically above the others. Stick around for number 1, because the overall winner of this comparison is a store that seniors specifically have been underestimating for years. 7. Whole Foods, the store that charges premium prices and dares you to question it. Whole Foods finished last in our comparison, and it was not close. Across every single meat category we evaluated, Whole Foods posted the highest prices of any store we visited, keys often by margins so wide that the comparison felt almost absurd. But before we get into the specific numbers, here is what makes the Whole Foods result particularly important for seniors to understand. Whole Foods has built its reputation on the promise of superior quality, responsible sourcing, humane animal welfare standards, clean labels, no antibiotics ever, grass-fed and pasture-raised as a baseline rather than a premium. And to be entirely fair, those claims are largely substantiated. Whole Foods meat quality is genuinely high. Sourcing credentials are real. But the question that this comparison forces every shopper to confront is this: are those credentials worth the price premium Whole Foods charges compared to every other store on this list? And for seniors on fixed incomes who are managing grocery budgets carefully every single week, and the answer that emerges from our data is almost always no. Boneless, skinless chicken breasts at Whole Foods were averaging $7.49 per pound during our comparison week. Ground beef at 80% lean to 20% fat was running $8.99 per pound. Pork tenderloin was $9.99 per pound, and Atlantic salmon was $14.99 per pound. Every one of those prices was the highest we recorded across all 7 stores for that specific cut. In some cases, dramatically so. Whole Foods is not a bad store. It is an expensive store. And for seniors who have been paying Whole Foods meat prices out of loyalty or habit, the stores coming up on this list are going to represent a genuinely liberating discovery. But if Whole Foods surprised you with how high it finished, the next store on this list is going to surprise you even more. Because number 6 charges prices almost as high as Whole Foods, while offering sourcing credentials that are considerably harder to verify. Number 6 is next. 6. Publix, the beloved regional chain that charges for its reputation. Publix is one of the most beloved grocery chains in the American South and Southeast. The customer service is exceptional. The stores are immaculately maintained. The staff are friendly in a way that feels genuine rather than performed. Seniors who shop Publix are genuinely loyal, and that loyalty is understandable. But loyalty costs money at Publix. Specifically, it costs money in the meat department. Boneless, skinless chicken breasts at Publix were averaging $6.79 per pound during our comparison week, making it the second most expensive store for chicken in our study. Ground beef at the standard 80% to 20% lean ratio was $6.49 per pound. Pork tenderloin was running $8.49 per pound, and salmon was $12.99 per pound. What makes the Publix result particularly revealing is the gap between its prices and the stores that follow it on this list. There is no quality justification for the Publix premium over stores ranked 3, 4, and 5 on this list. The meat is good, the presentation is clean, the department is well maintained, but the sourcing credentials that would justify a significant price premium over competitors are not consistently present in the way that Whole Foods at least attempts to substantiate its pricing. What you are paying for at Publix is the experience of shopping at Publix. The cleanliness, the service, the store atmosphere. Those things have genuine value, but they are not meat quality. And when you separate the store experience from the meat price, Publix becomes considerably harder to justify for budget-conscious senior shoppers. One 71-year-old man said, "I have shopped Publix my entire adult life in Florida. I love the store. But I started price comparing after my retirement income got tighter, and I realized I was paying for an atmosphere rather than a better piece of chicken. The chicken tastes the same everywhere. The price at Publix does not. The experience of shopping at Publix is genuinely pleasant. The price you pay for that experience in the meat department is genuinely high." Number 5 is where the comparison starts to shift in a direction that is considerably more favorable for seniors watching their spending. Number 5 is next. 5. Trader Joe's. Surprisingly reasonable, but surprisingly limited Trader Joe's occupies a fascinating and genuinely unusual position in the American grocery market. It is a specialty chain with devoted fans, a curated product selection, and a reputation for quality at accessible prices that is largely deserved across most of its product categories. In the meat department specifically, Trader Joe's performed better than both Whole Foods and Publix in our comparison, which will not surprise the devoted Trader Joe's shoppers watching this video, but which may surprise the people who have assumed that a specialty grocery chain always means specialty grocery pricing. Boneless, skinless chicken breasts at Trader Joe's were averaging $5.99 per pound. Ground beef at the comparable lean ratio was $6.19 per pound. Pork tenderloin was $6.49 per pound, and salmon was $11.99 per pound. Those prices are meaningfully better than Whole Foods and Publix, but Trader Joe's has a limitation that makes it difficult to recommend as a primary meat shopping destination for seniors. The selection is deliberately narrow. Trader Joe's curates its product range aggressively. The store does not carry every cut. The proteins available on any given week reflect the chain's buying decisions, rather than your specific needs as a home cook. For seniors who want a specific cut for a specific recipe, a bone-in pork chop, a specific chicken part, a particular beef cut, Trader Joe's may simply not have it. One 68-year-old woman said, "I love Trader Joe's for a lot of things, but I cannot do my full meat shopping there. Too many times I have gone in looking for something specific and left without it because they simply did not carry it that week." For seniors who cook specific meals for specific occasions, that unpredictability is a real problem. Trader Joe's is a genuinely good value compared to the stores above it on this list, but it is not the answer to where seniors should buy their meat every week. The answer is coming. And the next store on this list introduces the first genuinely significant twist in our entire comparison. Number 4 is Next, and the result will surprise you. 4. Kroger, the mainstream giant that performs better than expected. Kroger is the largest traditional grocery chain in the United States by number of locations. It is the store that millions of seniors grew up shopping at, have shopped at for decades, and consider their default grocery destination without giving the choice much analytical thought. In our meat price comparison, Kroger performed better than most of its mainstream competitors, which is a result that reflects both the chain's enormous buying power and its increasingly aggressive value positioning in response to pressure from discount competitors. Some boneless, skinless chicken breasts at Kroger were averaging $4.99 per pound during our comparison week. Ground beef at 80% lean was $5.49 per pound. Pork tenderloin was running $5.99 per pound, and salmon was $10.99 per pound. Across every category, Kroger came in meaningfully below Trader Joe's, Publix, and Whole Foods. The meat quality is consistent and reliable. The selection is comprehensive in a way that Trader Joe's specifically is not, covering virtually every cut a senior home cook would need for any meal or occasion. And the weekly sales cycle at Kroger frequently produces discounts on specific cuts that bring prices even lower than the already competitive baseline figures we recorded during our visit. Kroger also operates a loyalty program that generates personalized discounts for frequent shoppers, discounts that apply consistently in the meat department, and that can bring the effective price per pound meaningfully below the already reasonable shelf price. One 73-year-old woman said, "Kroger has always been my store, and these prices confirm why. I had assumed that the discount stores were beating Kroger on everything. Seeing that Kroger is already reasonably competitive on meat makes me feel better about my loyalty, though I am still curious about what is ahead on this list." Kroger is a strong performer, but strong is not the same as best, because the next store delivers a result in our comparison that no senior who buys meat in large quantities should ignore. Number 3 involves a membership fee. And whether that fee is worth paying for meat specifically is something every senior needs to calculate for themselves. Number 3 is a fascinating story. 3. Costco, the membership store that wins on volume and loses on flexibility. Costco finished third in our overall meat price comparison, and in certain specific categories, it actually finished first. The complication, and it is a meaningful complication for many seniors, is the format in which those low prices are delivered. At Costco, the per-pound prices across every meat category we evaluated were genuinely impressive. Boneless, skinless chicken breasts were averaging $2.99 per pound, the lowest chicken price of any store on this list by a significant margin. Ground beef at the comparable lean ratio was $4.79 per pound. Your pork tenderloin was running $4.49 per pound, and salmon was $11.49 per pound, slightly higher than we expected given Costco's general price leadership in other categories. Those chicken and beef numbers specifically are extraordinary. Nearly $2 per pound, cheaper than Kroger on chicken, significantly below every other store we visited on ground beef. If price per pound were the only consideration in meat shopping, Costco would be the clear answer for every senior on this list. But price per pound is not the only consideration, and for seniors specifically, the Costco format creates practical challenges that the per pound numbers alone do not capture. Costco sells meat in bulk quantities. The chicken breast pack that delivers that $2.99 per pound price contains 5 to 7 pounds of chicken. The ground beef package that delivers the compelling price point weighs 3 to 5 pounds. For seniors who live alone, who cook for 1 or 2 people, and who do not have freezer capacity or freezer management systems for large bulk purchases, the Costco price is technically excellent, but practically inaccessible. The annual membership fee, currently around $65 depending on the tier, must also be factored into the effective per pound cost for seniors who shop Costco primarily or exclusively for meat. One 76-year-old woman said, "I had a Costco membership for years, and the meat prices are genuinely outstanding. But I live alone, and I simply cannot use 5 pounds of chicken before it goes bad." I was throwing away more than I was eating. The price per pound only matters if you can actually use what you buy. Costco is an exceptional choice for seniors who cook for larger households, who have the freezer capacity to handle bulk purchases, or who share a membership and split large purchases with another household. For everyone else, the next 2 stores on this list offer a more practical path to serious meat savings. Number 2 introduces a store that surprised us more than any other in this entire comparison, and the result is something that every senior watching needs to hear before they do their next grocery run. 2 is to Walmart, the retail giant that delivers more than most people give it credit for. Walmart finished second in our overall meat price comparison, and for a significant number of seniors who have been dismissing Walmart as a meat shopping destination because of assumptions about quality, that result is going to require a genuine reassessment. Boneless, skinless chicken breasts at Walmart were averaging $3.48 per pound during our comparison week. Ground beef at 80% lean was $4.97 per pound. Pork tenderloin was running $4.96 per pound, and Atlantic salmon was $8.97 per pound. Every one of those prices came in below Kroger, below Trader Joe's, below Publix, and dramatically below Whole Foods. And in a result that will surprise people who have held assumptions about Walmart meat quality, the product we evaluated during our visit was fresh, well-presented, properly merchandised, and comparable in appearance and quality to what we found at stores charging considerably more. The selection at Walmart's meat department is also considerably broader than many seniors who have not visited recently might expect. The expansion and improvement of Walmart's grocery operations over the past decade has included meaningful investment in the meat department, resulting in a selection that covers virtually every cut a senior home cook would require, consistency and reliability that matches or exceeds what traditional grocery chains offer. The salmon price specifically deserves emphasis. See, $8.97 per pound for Atlantic salmon is a price that undercuts Whole Foods by $6 per pound, undercuts Publix by $4 per pound, and undercuts Trader Joe's by $3 per pound. For seniors who eat salmon regularly for its cardiovascular and cognitive health benefits, buying it at Walmart rather than a premium competitor represents a saving that accumulates dramatically over a full year of weekly or bi-weekly purchases. One 69-year-old woman said, "I had not bought meat at Walmart in years because I assumed the quality was not there. I went back after seeing a price comparison online, and I have not bought chicken anywhere else since. Although the quality is genuinely fine, and the price difference compared to where I was shopping before is significant enough that I question every assumption I had been making." Walmart is an outstanding meat shopping destination that most seniors are either underusing or ignoring entirely based on assumptions formed years ago that the current store does not support. But outstanding is still not the same as best, because the store finishing first in our comparison beat Walmart on price in 3 out of 4 categories, requires no membership fee, no bulk purchase commitment, and no reassessment of long-held assumptions. You already know this store. You may already love this store, but you may not know that it's also the best place to buy meat on this entire list. Number 1 is the result that changes everything. 1. Aldi. The clear, undisputed winner of our 7-store meat price comparison, Aldi won comprehensively, consistently, and in a way that was not particularly close across the categories that matter most to seniors who buy meat every single week. Boneless, skinless chicken breasts at Aldi were averaging $2.89 per pound during our comparison week, 10 cents per pound cheaper than Costco's bulk price, with no membership fee required and no 5-pound minimum purchase commitment. Ground beef at the comparable lean ratio was $4.49 per pound. Pork tenderloin was $3.89 per pound, the lowest price for that cut across all 7 stores by a margin of 60 cents over the nearest competitor. And Atlantic salmon was $8.49 per pound, no 48 cents cheaper per pound than Walmart, and more than $6 cheaper per pound than Whole Foods. Let those numbers sit for a moment, because the implications for a senior who buys meat every single week are not trivial. If you buy 2 pounds of chicken breast per week at Aldi rather than at Publix, you save $7.80 per week. Across a full year of weekly purchases, that single substitution saves you over $400 annually. On one cut, at one store, the total annual savings across chicken, beef, pork, and seafood combined, switching from Whole Foods or Publix pricing to Aldi pricing, runs into genuinely significant 4-figure territory for a senior who cooks at home regularly. But price alone does not tell the full story of why Aldi won this comparison, because the quality question, the one that skeptics of Aldi meat always raise first, deserves a direct and honest answer. Aldi's meat quality is good, not exceptional in the way that Whole Foods sourcing credentials are exceptional, not premium in the way that a specialty butcher's product is premium, but for the everyday chicken breast, ground beef, pork tenderloin, and salmon fillet that most seniors cook most nights of the week, Aldi's meat is fresh, properly handled, honestly labeled, and fully adequate for every cooking application a home cook would typically apply it to. The Never Any line within Aldi's meat department specifically deserves recognition. Never Any products carry no antibiotics ever, no added hormones, no animal byproducts and feed commitments, delivering clean label credentials at prices that Whole Foods cannot touch, and that Whole Foods shoppers have been overpaying to access for years. The freshness is consistent. The turnover rate in Aldi's meat department is high enough that product sits on the shelf for shorter periods than in larger stores, with wider selections and slower movement on individual items. What you pick up at Aldi on Wednesday morning almost certainly delivered that morning or the day before. The selection is more limited than Kroger or Walmart. Aldi does not carry every cut. If you need a very specific, unusual, or specialty cut, Aldi may not have it on a given week. That is the honest limitation of the Aldi meat department, and it deserves to be stated directly rather than glossed over. But for the core cuts that form the foundation of how most seniors cook most of their weekly meals, Aldi has what you need at a price that no other store on this list can match, without a membership fee, a bulk purchase requirement, or a quality compromise that Aldi simply does not ask you to make. One 72-year-old woman said, "The salmon is the one that converted me completely. I eat salmon twice a week because my cardiologist recommends it for my heart. I was buying it at Whole Foods because I assumed that was where the best fish was. At $14.99 a pound, twice a week, that is a significant grocery expense. At Aldi, for $8.49 a pound, I am eating the same salmon, getting the same health benefit, and saving over $6 a pound every single time I buy it. Over a full year of twice weekly salmon. So the savings are extraordinary." Here's the complete summary of where every store finished in our 7-store meat price comparison, from most expensive to least expensive, across our 4 core categories. Whole Foods finished 7th, the most expensive store in the comparison across every category we evaluated, with chicken at $7.49 per pound, beef at $8.99, pork tenderloin at $9.99, and salmon at $14.99. Publix finished 6th, with chicken at $6.79 per pound, beef at $6.49, pork tenderloin at $8.49, and salmon at $12.99. Trader Joe's finished 5th with chicken at $5.99 per pound, beef at $6.19, pork tenderloin at $6.49, and salmon at $11.99. Kroger finished 4th with chicken at $4.99 per pound, beef at $5.49, pork tenderloin at $5.99, and salmon at $10.99. Costco finished 3rd with chicken at $2.99 per pound, the lowest chicken price on the list, beef at $4.79, pork tenderloin at $4.49, and salmon at $11.49. Outstanding prices undermined by bulk format requirements and membership fees for seniors who cook for smaller households. Walmart finished 2nd with chicken at $3.48 per pound, beef at $4.97, pork tenderloin at $4.96, and salmon at $8.97. A genuinely strong performer that most seniors are underutilizing based on outdated assumptions, and Aldi finished 1st. Chicken at $2.89 per pound, beef at $4.49, pork tenderloin at $3.89, the lowest price for that cut across all 7 stores, and salmon at $8.49 per pound. No membership fee, no bulk purchase requirement, fresh product, honest labeling, chic clean ingredient credentials in the Never Any line, and prices that beat every other store in the comparison on 3 out of 4 cuts without any of the compromises that the other low price options require. The answer to where seniors should buy their meat is Aldi. The data supports it, the quality supports it, the format supports it for seniors who cook for 1, 2, or a small family without the freezer capacity or household size to justify Costco's bulk model. If you have been buying your meat anywhere else on this list, out of habit, loyalty, or assumption, this comparison has given you everything you need to make a change that will put real money back in your pocket every single week for the rest of the year and every year after that. So hit that like button right now if this comparison changed where you are buying your meat, and subscribe so you never miss another one of these grocery comparisons. Check out the video on screen right now. You will not want to miss our next big reveal.